January 20th, 2025 is when Trump will step into power as president. I have a background in politics, and my political analysis has some bad news for immigrants. Trump in 2025 will be different than Trump in 2017. This new version of him is a machine that knows what it's doing and how to achieve its goals. Therefore, the purpose of this video is to inform and prepare immigrants in both the US and Canada for what they may experience, things that may come, and things you may want to do before then. The format of the video is 5 possible changes in the US plus action to prepare and 2 immigration changes in Canada and ways to prepare. At the end, I'll share the main takeaway of this analysis and the US election. So now, sit back and let's make sense of the government policy together. Possible change number 1, mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. I made an entire video dedicated to legal and operational obstacles Trump is likely to face if he were to deport 11 million people. Basically, it's close to impossible without the army. But for the sake of this video, even if he were to manage to get funding for ICE, use the National Guard or the military, remove legal holdbacks through courts, this change would most definitely trigger an acceleration of asylum case processing and extension of waiting times for work permits, limiting eligibility for immigrants entering the US without authorization. How to prepare? If you are eligible for asylum or a work permit, apply as soon as possible to avoid stricter requirements. Those waiting outside the US may want to explore other legal entry options. Possible change number 2, Muslim ban version 2. Trump might reinstate a travel ban. Last time it targeted people from Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. This time the list could grow to include places like Palestine and Lebanon. This may even mean no refugee protection in the US. How to prepare? If you're a citizen of one of the countries likely to be affected, apply for immigration now and put together a strategy that includes a plan A as well as a plan B. Possible change number 3, end of Ukrainian refugees. Trump named his border czar. Veteran immigration official Tom Homan will be in charge of the country's border following Trump's inauguration in January. The important thing is, Tom has expressed his vision to repeal all temporary protection status designations. If Ukrainians under the U4U program fall under this, which legally they do, they would lose their expiring status. How to prepare? Well, it's not likely due to the politics of this change. If it were to happen and you are a Ukrainian refugee, I would highly recommend to identify an alternative legal pathway to stay in the country. Now we're getting into economic immigration, workers, and students. Possible change number 4, EB1 and EB2 national priorities. While both are work visa pathways, we may see a shift into processing only applicants working in an industry the new administration prioritizes. It's likely to be healthcare, IT, and energy.
And we will drill, baby, drill. We're gonna drill, baby, drill.
We actually have something similar to this with our express entry priorities in Canada. How to prepare? Center your case around national priorities. Even when you do not work in the prioritized industry directly, there may be a way to connect the dots to prove to the government that you deserve a green card. Possible change number 5, student visa and student pathways. During the campaign, Trump said, if you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically, as part of your diploma, a green card to be able to stay in this country. He said the policy would include graduates from junior colleges and those earning doctorate degrees. How to prepare? If you want to immigrate to the US, student visa may be a great opportunity. I would recommend to shoot for master's or PhD programs, as well as, if possible, go for top-ranking schools like Harvard or Stanford. Now, let's talk about how the new president in the US may affect immigrants in Canada. Possible change number 1, agency and refugee claimants may experience a higher refusal rate. It's a simple supply and demand equation. The more immigrants apply, the higher the refusal rate. Look at the immigration targets for HNC next year, 2025. The total refugees and protected persons is 58,000 and the sum for HNC is only 10,000. Now think about all temporary residents in Canada who will apply for either of those streams. And it gets worse. If Trump rolls out decisive action to deport illegal immigrants in the US, thousands of them will flee not to the Mexican but to the Canadian border. We have seen it last year with Roxham Road in Quebec. This wave of migrants could create even more demand for the previously mentioned programs. How to prepare? You need to create a bulletproof case if you're considering filing for H&C. Therefore, I think the best investment in your legal status is to hire an immigration lawyer. If you're interested in working with my team, reach out. A link to the H&C service is in the description of the video. Possible change number 2, revamp the immigration system. The recent election polls show that the Conservative Party is leading in Canada. And the election will most likely happen sometime before July 2025, which means the time is ticking. Some lawyers argue that the Conservative government will change the Canadian immigration system to align with the American one, in a way that would introduce a lottery system to work permits and PRs, which may be the end of a point-based system. The bottom line is, align your job with the country's needs and act now. Feel free to book a time with an immigration lawyer in the description for all options. Before we finish the video, let's register something very important. Last time, the people Trump had in his command went against his decisions. Not to mention the disorderly Congress and an equal number in the Supreme Court. Now, however, there will be complete obedience from all sides, people who get elected and people who get appointed. The bottom line is, he knows what he's doing and there's no guardrails if you are an immigrant. Get ready now. Thank you for watching.